So, HeLa cells is quite a cell. You might be wondering why there's a shift in the contents I have on my YouTube channel. From an acquaintance video, which you should check out by the way, to a video about something called a HeLa cell. Well, it's because I have an assignment on it, and it's to make a video. What can I do about it? Anyways, I'm pretty sure most of you don't even know what HeLa cells are, much less that they exist. But you've got to know that these cells are really important because it's the key to understanding things like cancer, virology, and genetics in the grown cells. Yeah, I too have just realized the importance while researching about it. For a quick intro, the HeLa cells are microscopic cells that were the first cells that scientists discovered that could grow and multiply endlessly in a lab. This provided the labs all across the world with a steady supply of the same cells to test on, all thanks to a woman by the name of Henrietta Lacks. I assume you may not know her as well as her relevance to the revolutionary discovery. So now I'll pass the explanation to my classmate Jerica.
Hello there, and thank you very much. Anyways, Henrietta Lacks was a woman of color and a mother of 5. At the age of 31, which was in 1951, she got diagnosed with cervical cancer at Johns Hopkins Hospital, which is quite sad. I mean, she was 31 and she still had at least 50 more years to live if no accidents were to happen, but cancer at her early 30s. Now that, folks, that's just depressing. But, well, George Gay, a doctor working in Johns Hopkins Hospital at the time, took sample of Henrietta Lacks' tissue and tested it without her knowledge or consent. This could have been quite an outrage if a doctor was found doing the same thing to his patient these days. Stuff about human rights, cells are part of a person, and other gibberish of that sort. What can we say? It was back in the 1950s, the law didn't really protect people. But luckily, it was not in vain and led to quite a discovery. Back to the topic, George Gay, our mad lad of a doctor, was trying to grow an immortal cell line that would continuously divide for an infinite amount of time. But the doc didn't get to achieve it until one day, some doctors took tissue samples from Mrs. Lacks' body.
And I'll take it from here. We are alternating. So, what happened to Henrietta's children after their mother's tragic passing away? How did they cope with the stress, and what happened to them after they got older? I'm very much certain not that you're all so interested in more history, so hold on to your hats for just a few more minutes. Henrietta Lacks' children are Lawrence, Elsie, Sony, Deborah, and Joe. After her death, they were cared for in parts by the abusive cousins. Because of their traumatic time in their childhood, Henrietta's children did not know about their mother's cell being experimented and sent out into space. Seriously, one question to those abusive step-parents: why exactly are you adopting children that you abuse? I mean, if you need a stress reliever, just go out to Decathlon and buy yourself a punching bag or something.
Okay, boy, I'll be taking it from here. Please calm down. I really need some time to relax, or you might just go haywire and start attacking every negative thing in this world. Anyway, it was by the year of 1973 that the Laxes began to learn about what had been done with their mother's cells. It happened purely unintended when a geneticist assistant called the family out to draw blood in order to fight the rampaging HeLa cell, which was contaminating the cell cultures. The family was told that they were being tested for cancer, but I mean, shouldn't we call this a white lie or what? It just doesn't seem right. The truth was uncovered when Deborah Lacks was called to Hopkins for another extraction of her blood in June of 1974, when she got the opportunity to ask why their blood was being drawn.
Alright, I'm calm now and I think I can handle it from here myself. So, Dr. McQuisix did not answer her directly and just went on blabbering about how important Henrietta's cell was and how it helped so many people and etc. A typical way of trying to get away with something they did wrong. Inner peace. It was just after the visit and publishing of Rogers, a Rolling Stones reporter's story, that the family fully understood what had happened. Alright, I give up on these Hopkins.
Forget what you just heard, because things turned up for Henrietta's children from this point on. In 1996, they began to receive recognition on behalf of their mother, or her cell in particular. The BBC produced a documentary about Henrietta, for which the producers interviewed the Lacks family. On the same year, Roland Patillo, one of the students of color, organized a HeLa conference at Morehouse School of Medicine, and the Lackses were invited as guests of honor. In April 2001, Deborah received an invitation to the National Foundation for Cancer Research's annual conference and was given the opportunity to see her mother's cells. Unfortunately, Deborah receives on that particular day a call on behalf of her son Alfred, arrested for robbing several liquor stores with his friends. Why, oh why did it have to be on that day, Alfred?
Okay, I think that's enough on the whole history section. Let's move back to Dr. Gay. So, what our dear mad scientist Dr. Gay received was a purple jelly-like substance. If it was me, I would have put it in my mouth right away at the first thought, thinking it is just a jelly or something. Thank goodness I wasn't born as Mr. Gay. I'm getting off track again. So, upon examination, Dr. Gay found out that the purple jelly-like substance consisted of cells that actually constantly duplicated, which was completely unnatural. Normal human cells have controlled mechanisms and can duplicate themselves for about 50 times before they self-destruct in a process called apoptosis, which prevents genetic mutation and also us from turning into monsters like this. But cancer cells divide indefinitely, which crowds out the innocent normal cells. This led scientists to call the HeLa cells the first immortal line of human cells. I like to refer them to God cells, haha. And a quick congratulations to Henrietta Lacks to be the first human producer of immortal cells. Now I'll pass the mic to Jerica.
Scientists grow human cells in the lab to understand how diseases develop and to test new treatments without endangering patients. Basically, it allows scientists to avoid treatment tests on actual humans, which reduces the risk for side effects on the medicine. But these cells self-destruct after several divisions, so an unlimited source of test cells was primarily needed. Then boom, came Henrietta's cancer, and boom, the HeLa cells were discovered. One may ask, how do HeLa cells maintain their immortality? The answer is no scientists know for sure. There are some speculations that it has something to do with HeLa cells having 80 highly chromosomes. It was also the first organism to be cloned and traveled to space. And, that's quite a lot of firsts for a tiny little cell. Congrats again, Mrs. Henrietta.
Now, let's discuss about the pros and cons of these HeLa important cells. First is the telomerase, an enzyme that helps cancer cells evade destruction by repairing their DNA. This was first discovered through the HeLa cells.
Another thanks to HeLa, we know that cervical cancer can be caused by a virus called HPV, which led to the development of the vaccine. What is HPV? Well, you find that out on your own, or maybe that's for another video. What do you think?
Okay, Jerica just gave me a topic for another video, but remember that I have nothing to do with what she just suggested. Although many other cells are in use today, HeLa cells have supported advance in most fields of medical research in the years since HeLa cells were isolated. Over the past several decades, this cell line has contributed to many medical breakthroughs, from research on the effects of zero gravity in outer space, the development of polio and COVID-19 vaccines, to the study of leukemia, AIDS, and cancer worldwide.
A negative effect of HeLa cells are that its usage in research has been controversial for many reasons, including that Lacks was a person of color in the United States and did not knowingly or gave consent to donate her cells to science, for the doctor had no regard of basic rights, or maybe they didn't exist back then. Today we have laws that protect people from these situations. Even if it was controversial for these reasons, it was able to contribute new information to develop all sorts of cures for sicknesses. We can definitely say her death did not go in vain.
Well, that's it for this hella interesting video. My classmate also have other projects on the same topic of HeLa cells. We have an article, a social media post, and also a poster. Hope you support and check that out. Also, if you don't mind, check out some of my previous videos. Thanks for watching, and congrats to you for learning something new.